Govinda, Govinda. Gauranga. You going to be around to the end of class? Or? Okay. What time are you going? What time are you going? Okay. Oh, then. Send me a message. Jayarata Matava Kunja Bihari Rata Matava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janabalaba Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janabalaba Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Motova Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Motova Kunja Bihari Gopi Janabalaba Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Matava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paragrajikacharya Ashtatara Satashishimad, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, Anantakoti Vaishnava Brinda Ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki, Nitai Go Premanandi. Oh glories to assembled devotees, oh glories to assembled devotees, oh glories to assembled devotees, oh glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Narayanam namaskritya naram cheva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 8, chapter entitled The Lord Slays the King of the Demons, text number 8. Sa Ishvara Kala Uru Kramosha Sa Ojasaha Sattva Balendriyatma Sa eva vishvam paramasva shakti-bhi Sri Jatyavat-yati guna-trayasya Sa Ishvara kala urukramosa Ojasaha sattva balendriyatma Sa eva vishvam paramasva shakti-bhi Sri Jatyavat-yati guna-trayasya Sa Ishvara kala urukramosa Ojasaha sattva balendriyatma Sa eva vishvam paramasva shakti-bhi Sri Jatyavat-yati guna Sri Trayesha. Mataji's.
Sri
Saha, he, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara, the Supreme Controller. Kala, the Time Factor. Urukrama, the Lord, whose every action is uncommon. Aso, that one. Oja, the strength of the senses. Saha, the strength of the mind. Sattva, steadiness. Bala, bodily strength. Indriya, and of the senses themselves. Atma, the very self. Saha, he. Eva, indeed. Vishwam, the whole universe. Parama, the supreme. Swashakti, by his multifarious transcendental potencies. Srijati, creates. Avati, maintains. Ati, winds up. Gunatraya Isha, the master of the material modes. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Controller and time factor, is the power of the senses, the power of the mind, the power of the body, and the vital force of the senses. His influence is unlimited. He is the best of all living entities, the controller of the three modes of material nature. By his own power, he creates this cosmic manifestation, maintains it, and annihilates it also. Translation, responsively. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Controller and Time Factor, is the power of the senses, the power of the mind, the power of the body, and the vital force of the senses. His influence is unlimited. He is the best of all living entities, the controller of the three modes of material nature. By his own power, he creates this cosmic manifestation, maintains it, and annihilates it also. Purport. Since the material world is being moved by the three material modes, and since the Lord is their master, the Lord can create, maintain, and destroy the material world. Amagyan Timidandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Petitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare. So, a famous part of the Bhagavatam. What is this section of the Bhagavatam about? What's that? Protection? Yeah, if you want to take it technically. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, protection. One of the 10 subject matters of the Bhagavatam. One is, Poshana, protection. Yeah, that's nice. It's a nice way of looking at it. About protection. Because the Lord will always protect His devotees. Poshana means always protecting. Krishna will always look after us. Sometimes it feels like He is not looking after us. Do you ever feel like that? Where is Krishna? Why is He not looking after me? He is always looking after us. Just sometimes we feel like we're not being looked after. Because we are in ignorance, avidya. And just like when there's clouds, you cannot see the sun. That's only our perspective. We cannot see the sun, but the sun is always there. Sometimes you cannot see it, it appears dark, but the sun is always there. Krishna is always there, but because of ignorance, sometimes we think, oh, Krishna is not there. But Poshana means Krishna will always protect us. Just like He protected Prahlad Maharaj. He will always be there for His devotees. Declare it boldly, O Arjuna, my devotee will never perish. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. You remember that? Krishna says, declare it boldly, my devotee will never perish. That doesn't mean he will protect your material body. You have to understand that. Krishna doesn't say in the Bhagavad Gita, I will protect your material body. He will protect your soul. He will protect your spiritual advancement. He says, Nehabigrama nashosti prachavayo na vijite swalpamapyasya dhamasha. Alpa means even if you make a little bit of advancement. Little bit of advancement. Krishna will always protect that. That will be in your bank account. Krishna will never take money out of your bank account. Your spiritual bank account. Yeah, He might empty the material bank account. Sometimes He doesn't. Takes everything out of your material bank account. Krishna can take anything He wants, whenever He wants. He has so many arms. You only have 2 arms. If Krishna wants to take everything, what can you keep? If Krishna wants to give you everything, what can you receive? So Krishna will, if He wants, He can take everything. That is His potency. So a devotee, he understands Krishna will protect him, but he will not. He never says, "I'll protect the material body." So sometimes devotee, the material body is taken away. Sometimes devotee gets sick, or material body stops working, or something happens. Krishna never says, "I will protect that." He says, "I'll protect your spiritual advancement. I'll protect your soul." That is the promise. Declare it boldly, Arjuna, my devotee will never perish. So here we're hearing about how the Lord protects His devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. So it should give us confidence. We should feel protected by Lord Nrsimhadev. Prabhupada introduced Nrsimha mantra in ISKCON. Every day we chant Nrsimha mantra. Does anyone remember the words? Namaste Narasringhaya. I offer obeisances to you. Half man, half lion. When does someone turn into half man, half lion? In the spiritual world, there are many Vaikuntha planets. You see on the first canto of the Bhagavatam, right, on the front cover. There is one Goloka planet. The Goloka planet is bigger than Vaikuntha. All of Vaikuntha put together, the Goloka planet is bigger. But then there's so many Vaikuntha planets. And on one of those Vaikuntha planets, Nrsimhadev has his own planet. And the bhaktas, the devotees of Nrsimhadev, they go there to worship him. But he doesn't look like Nrsimha. He doesn't look like half man, half lion. He looks like Narayan. that form that he takes, half man, half lion, that is only in this material world when he comes here. This is for the pastimes in the material. It's not for the Nitya Lila. Okay? When he comes to the material world, then he shows this form. So why do you show this form? Why do you turn into half man, half lion? That means you've got to be very angry. Sometimes we look like that. Right? When you get angry, you look ferocious. But Krishna, he takes it to another platform. He doesn't just start looking ferocious, he actually transforms. And he takes this half man, half lion form, he becomes terribly ferocious. This is Nasingha. So Prabhupada introduced the Nrsimha mantra into the Hare Krishna movement many, many years ago. Right? Why? To protect the devotees. Bahir Nrsimho, Hridaye Nrsimho. Bahir Nrsimho means Nrsimha will protect us outside. He'll protect the movement from the outside. And Hridaye Nrsimho. Hridaya means in the heart. He will protect you in the heart. Actually, Prabhupada said nothing can stop this movement from the outside. Prabhupada said that. Nothing can stop it from the outside. He said the only thing that can stop it is the inside. When we all start arguing with each other. That stops it. We're lucky in this temple, we don't argue so much. We don't. In this temple, we don't. That's why the temple's successful. We don't argue so much. We have disagreements. Sometimes we disagree. But we don't have major arguments or major disagreements. Right? If there's major arguments or major disagreements, then we rectify that situation. But we don't have major politics here. Right? That is why the temple is successful. Right? So nothing can stop us from outside, only inside. If everyone starts arguing, then Prabhupada said the proof of how much you love me is how much you will cooperate after I am gone. Well, we have to cooperate to spread Krishna consciousness, which means we have to give up our egos. We have to all cooperate with each other. Sometimes I don't agree with you, you don't agree with me, that's okay. But we cooperate to keep everything going. So Nrsimhadev, he appears to protect the Hare Krishna movement from the outside and also from the inside. He protects us within, Hridaya, within our heart. Sometimes we suffer from a condition called Hridaya Dobalyam. What does that mean? This is discussed by Haridas Thakur in Harinam Chintamani and other places. Hridaya Dobalyam, what does it mean? Weakness of the heart. Sometimes our hearts are weak. What does it mean our hearts are weak? Sometimes we become overwhelmed by material desires. Your heart is weak, not strong. Sometimes the material desires, they become very powerful. And you have material desires in your consciousness. No, I know you do, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying do you, I know you do. I'm just saying. It means within the consciousness, Hridaya Dobalyam, but sometimes those material desires, we succumb to them. That's Hridaya Dobalyam, when we're weak in our heart. Right? We all have material desires, that's okay. Right? Everyone has material desires. Right? There's like one devotee, her name was Brajalila. There's a little book about her. She's a disciple of Indradumna Swami. Has anyone read the book? You've read? Yeah, very nice. Very nice book, if you can get it. It's probably very rare now, actually, to get that book, but maybe you cannot. But disciple of Indradumna Swami. She left the world in, I think it was 1994, I think it was. Or maybe 96 or something. It was, a long time ago. And Indradumna Swami, it was such a moving experience that Indradumna Swami wrote a book, little book, about her, about how she, very glorious. So she had, I think it was leukemia. So she went to Vrindavan to leave this world. And it was evident to Indradumna Swami and others, she was a pure devotee. Indradumna Swami said to her, that when something like this happens, sometimes Krishna gives you a wake-up call. Sometimes Krishna says, you're going to leave now. So Indradumna Swami says it's like you go into the overtaking lane. All the traffic is on the road, but then you pull out and you go past everyone. So sometimes when that happens, when Krishna says, okay, you're going to leave soon, it gives you a chance to step out and go quickly. Because you become very focused. It's a test for all of us. Maybe we won't become, maybe we become less focused. But if you pass the test or face it the right way, you can go very quickly. So she went very quickly and she became very pure. And then she was about to leave the world, and Indradumna Swami was in Russia and she's in Vrindavan. So it's big distance. And then she said she wanted her Guru Maharaj to be with her when she left the world. And Indradumna Swami was in the middle of a preaching tour. So not so easy. And then, he's talking to her on the phone and, the ringing and everything like that. And she said, Maharaj, come. And he's, I want to come, but it's, so. And then B.B. Govinda Maharaj, Indradumna Swami's godbrother, he was on the phone with Maharaj. He said, Maharaj, come now. So Indradumna Swami got on the plane and came straight to Vrindavan. So he came, flew to Vrindavan. A long flight, and he's very tired, and he came. And when he entered the room, he was struck by the transcendental atmosphere in the room. She was very close to leaving this world. And then Indradumna Swami, he sat with her in the final hours, and they were chanting and discussing. And then Maharaj said to her, he said, Brajalila, do you have any material desires left? And then she smiled a little bit, and she said, I want to taste tomatoes. And Indradumna Swami smiled and he said, is that all? That's your only material desire? You want to taste tomatoes? She said, yeah, sometimes I want to taste tomatoes. And then he said, then that's okay, Krishna will take you. That's such a little desire that will not keep you in this material world. Maybe Krishna will organize tomatoes in the spiritual world. When you get there, there'll be some pizza feast or something. So the point is that Hridaya Dobhalyam means weakness of heart. Sometimes we have material desires, but we let them overcome us. Right? So we have to be careful of that as devotees. Like you might like tomatoes, but then you spend half a day going looking for tomatoes instead of going out on book distribution. That's not good. You have to stay fixed in your service. If you want to become a Brahmana, hands up if you are a Brahmana. Second initiation. Hands up, you got second initiation. Only a few devotees got second. Right? Balaram Prabhu, the previous temple president in the temple, he once asked Prabhupada, just up here, he said to Prabhupada, he said, what is the qualification for someone to take second initiation? Prabhupada said they have to be steady, nishta, fixed. Right? Because that means you're not acting on your material desires. Material desires are there, but you are not acting on them. Therefore you are qualified to take second initiation. Second initiation, you have to be fixed because you're worshipping the deity. You can't be whimsical when you're worshipping the deity. You can't be there one day, not be there the next day. Right? You're worshipping that you have to be fixed. That's why deity worship is very important, very serious. Especially of all the deity worship, the most serious is Shalagram worship. Devotees who worship Shalagram, they have to be very fixed, very qualified. We've seen, even in this temple, over the years, if the Shalagram Pujari is not fixed, it causes problems. Whoever worships Shalagram has to be very serious devotee. Deity worship is a big responsibility. So therefore, Hridaya Dobhalyam means weakness of heart. So sometimes we feel like that, material desires are there, but do not act on them. Don't become weak. So if you're feeling sometimes your material desires are challenging you, do you ever feel like your material desires are challenging you? Anyone ever feel like that? One person, okay, now 2, now 18, okay. So, if you're feeling your material desires are challenging you, then you have to pray to Lord Nrsingadev. Bahir Nasrimho, Hridaye Nasrimho, Nasrim Hamadim, Sharanam, Sharana. I take shelter of you. Help me. Help me. You can pray to Nrsingadev. Just like a Nrsinga Chaturdasi, we come and pray to Nrsingadev. You know, but you also have to be very careful what you pray to Nrsingadev too. Because sometimes devotees come to Nrsingadev and say, Lord Nrsingadev, take everything. Be very careful if you make that prayer, because he might do it. And if he does it, sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes, you know, he starts shaking everything, and he might actually reach in your heart and go, "Grrr, grrr, grrr." Huh? Like Chankazi. You know Chankazi? You know him? You were there with Lord Chaitanya, you met Chankazi? You know who he is, Chankazi. He was there. Lord Chaitanya came with 100,000 devotees. Imagine if 100,000 people turn up here angry right now. We would be scared. We would lock the door. We would, very scary. 100,000 people came. They were chanting, kill the Kazi, kill the Kazi, kill the Kazi, kill. These are devotees. Don't get the devotees angry. I've seen in my life, when the devotees get angry, it goes on to this other thing. Don't make the devotees angry, because they go more angry, too angry. Ati. He's like, next, too much angry. Devotees don't get angry. When they do, they go too much angry. So, Chankazi, they came, killed the Kazi. He went inside the house, locked all the doors. He had soldiers, but there wasn't enough soldiers. How's 100 soldiers going to deal with 100,000 people? Right? It was not possible. It was too difficult. So then he went inside, and then Lord Chaitanya said to everyone, he said, hey, Shanti, Shanti, come on, everyone just be peaceful, Shanti, everyone sit down. So he calmed everyone down. And then Lord Chaitanya said, bring him. So then he came, and he was very nervous. And he said to Lord Chaitanya, in the village, I am your uncle. Because he was nervous. He said, I'm your uncle. How does the nephew treat the uncle? So Lord Chaitanya had a conversation with him. And then Chankazi said, I will protect the Sankirtan movement from now on. I will not harass anymore. And Lord Chaitanya said, what happened to you? You changed. Before you were very troublesome, you were causing us problems. Now you're saying, going to quote, what happened to you? So he undid his kurta and he showed his on the chest. He said, actually, I had a dream last night. Right? And a lion sat on my chest. And with his nails, he put his nails on my chest and he scratched. And he said, if you do not stop harassing the devotees, I will rip out your heart. Imagine you wake up and there's a lion on your chest. And he's got his nails like this. And he just goes across just to make some scratches. And he woke up in the morning, he showed Lord Chaitanya, the scratches were there. Right? And he said, if you don't stop harassing the devotees, I will take out your heart. Very scary. So Lord Nrsingadev, he will protect us, he will look after us. He will pull out all of your material desires. But be very careful what you ask for, because if you ask him to do it, he might do it. And if he does it, then you're in a serious situation. Sometimes we say to Lord Nrsingadev, please remove all my material desires, but maybe you're not quite ready for that yet. I'm not saying don't do it. If you're ready, then go and pray to him like that. But only pray for what you're ready for, because when he starts ripping out everything, right, it could disturb your consciousness. So you have to be very balanced. Actually, Jagatarini Mataji, she said to us one time, she gave very important instruction. She said, as you advance in Krishna consciousness, because we're trying to go back to Godhead, it's a gradual process of going back to Godhead. She said, make sure you fulfill your material desires. on the path back home, back to Godhead. It's very important, actually. Right? Don't be too renounced. Prabhupada actually said to Umarpati Swami back in the very beginning of our movement, 1966, 67, very early. Prabhupada said, not too much renunciation, not too much attachment. Prabhupada said devotee is in the middle. Devotee should not be too renounced, right? But you should not also be too attached. So you have to fulfill your material desire. That's what Grihastha ashram is for. Most of the devotees are Grihasthas. Right? So that's what Grihastha ashram is for. You fulfill your material desires, right? And then gradually you become detached. Brahmachari or sannyas, that is different. That is the path of vairagya. That is different. Right? That is you more seriously attempt to give up your material desires. That's good. That's good. Because that's a very fast way of going back to Krishna. But you also have to be qualified to do that. Right? That's not so easy in the Kali Yuga. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in the Kali Yuga, the Grihastha ashram is good. Because most of the devotees, they cannot do the Brahmachari ashram or the Sannyasa ashram. Most devotees. If you can do it, it's good, because it's fast. But generally, you have to gradually give up your material. Don't falsely renounce. Not too much renunciation, but not too much attachment. Just be in the middle path. Sometimes we take vows. I will not eat sweets anymore. Very renounced. But then we go and eat, after 1 week, we go and eat 32 sweets. I've done it. I've done it. As brahmachari, no more sweets. And then, on the 7th day, then I go and eat like too many sweets. Not good. Not too much renunciation, not too much attachment. But you shouldn't be too attached either, otherwise you become attached. Prabhupada said, do not become attached to opulent prasadam. Actually, when Prabhupada came to Sydney, and I think it was 1972, and the devotees every day, they were having halava for lunch. Not just halava, but, prasadam, but then halava for lunch. And Prabhupada said no. He said once a week. Once a week. You have the feast. Not every day. And then Prabhupada left and they kept doing it. Every day. Halava for lunch. But too much opulent prasad, not good, actually. Prabhupada said eat simply. Rice, dal, sabji, chapati, every day. It doesn't have to be that every day, but like simple prasad. And then once a week, eat whatever you want. Enjoy yourself. We have senses. The senses need to be satisfied. Once a week you can eat whatever you want. No. But the rest of the week you have to practice some self-discipline. Right? So, this Nrsingadev, this is a very nice pastime. He appears, right, to rip out the material desires. In this particular verse, Prahlad Maharaj is instructing his father, the king of the demons. His name is Hiranya Kashipu. What is the perfection in this material world? Hiranya means gold. Everyone wants to be rich. You see all the people, they want to be rich. Have you seen the rappers? You know what the rappers are? The guys who do the rapping? You know what I'm talking about? The rappers? Yeah, okay. So the rappers, they all wear like big, thick gold necklaces around their neck. Like this, big, thick gold necklace. Why? Hiranya, gold. They think that's success. Right? Oh, look at me. I walk around big, thick gold on my neck. The material world is a crazy place. Even some of them, they make gold teeth. So when they smile, it's all gold. Like that. This is material world. We think like this. So, Hiranya Kashipu means the beds, soft beds, where I can enjoy with the opposite sex. This is material consciousness, right? What is the best? The best is soft beds made of gold. Then that is the height of sense enjoyment. So Hiranyakashipu, he was the greatest sense enjoyer. His whole consciousness was, let me enjoy my senses. That's what the material world is for. Prabhupada once said The conditioned soul, we come to this material world to enjoy illicit sex and eating meat. That's why we come here. That's why everyone's doing it. Everyone is doing it. Right? Everyone just wants to have illicit sex and eat meat. Right? That's the purpose in the material world, to facilitate. You want to enjoy separately from Krishna. I was at a meeting recently in close to our farm. They had a community meeting about alternative power sources, solar power and things. So I went, because we're interested in these things. And then I said to all the people, I said, not all of them, but on my table we're having discussion, I said, actually, if you want to stop global warming, you have to be vegetarian. And they all looked at me like, we're talking about solar power. I said, that's good, but we have to do both. And they all went, I said, no, because what are you telling me? I came here to eat meat. I came here to have illicit sex. And then you Hare Krishna people, you come to our meetings and you wreck everything. Who invited you people anyway? Huh? Who invited you people? Why you came here? There's the mood. Because we tell people, hey, stop doing this. This is not the purpose. You want to go back to Godhead, no illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling. You want to do those things, then okay, you do it, but you can't make serious advancement in spiritual life. Niti visheda. Some things you have to give up. That's when we take initiation. No illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating. Why? Because it will hold you back in spiritual life. Right? Viti, what do you have to do? Every day 16 rounds, minimum. Prabhupada said minimum 16 rounds. One devotee said to Prabhupada about 16 rounds. Prabhupada said, why not 16,000 rounds? Why not? Why you don't keep chanting? 16 rounds on beads, unlimited rounds off beads, Prabhupada said. While you're doing your seva, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. On the beads, 16. Off the beads, unlimited. Kirtanya ha sada hari satato kirtayanto mam. Chant the holy name of Krishna. That is the mission of the Hare Krishna movement. Make everybody chant the holy name of Krishna. This is our mission. So, Prahlad Maharaj, he's instructing the king of the demons. And then he gives this verse, and he says to Hiranyakashipu, who do you think controls the three modes of material nature? The three modes of material nature are very powerful. Hands up if you're affected by the modes of nature. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Affected. All of us are affected by the three modes. Oh. You have to situate yourself in one particular mode. Krishna discusses this in the Bhagavad Gita. One of the modes is very good. Actually, one of the acharyas, he says, Sattva Gun and Vishuddha Sattva, they look very similar. Very similar. Right? And Prabhupada says Sattva Gun is a springboard to pure goodness. So we have to situate ourselves in Sattva Gun while we're practicing bhakti, because that will lead to pure goodness. When Prabhupada arrived on the Jaladuta, 1965, and he saw Boston for the first time, and he wrote in his diary, Prabhupada said, all I can see is Rajas and Tamas. That is America. Make America great again. It is full of Rajas and Tamas. We have to bring it to Sattva. Right? That is Donald Trump's mission. Make it great. Make it great again. We have to get back to Sattva. His whole mission is just more passion. And we know too much passion leads to ignorance. Passion, there's three modes. Right? Passion's in the middle. And the predominant mode in the material world is passion. That's the predominant mode. So passion is in the middle. It can go two ways. If you control passion, passion's okay. If you control it, you can lift to goodness. But too much is hard to control, and it takes you down to ignorance. And you see modern society. They're too passionate, and then they all go off the rails. And now they're all suffering so much. And now you see the world. Have you seen this week? Have you seen the news? Did anyone see the fires in Hawaii and like that? Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. The devastation. I've never seen anything like this. Just material, and this material, it's doing it everywhere now. Floods and fires are just going everywhere. It's apocalyptic. Right? It's actually mentioned in the Bible. At the end, this happens. So it means Kali Yuga is accelerating. Kali Yuga is going over a cliff right now. And we're watching it. We're actually living right at the time where it goes over the cliff. And everyone's talking about, zero carbon emissions, and it's too late. It is too late. Because the amount of change we would have to make, people are not willing to do it. Right? How many, what's this, iPhone, right? How many iPhones do they sell every year? 50 million plus, right? So if they want to, what's wrong? This one, I've got this one, I don't know, 4 years ago or something, I can't remember, but it still works. Hare Baba, I don't need to change it all the time. But they keep telling everyone, no, you need 13, you need 14, you need 15, you need, what are they up to? 14. Yeah, they're up to 14. In 6 months, 15's ready. 15, right? No, 16. 17, come on, what's wrong with you? That's how they tell everyone. They do. And everyone's like, oh, okay. And then they tell you, oh no, it's better. And what's better? Oh, it has more emojis. Oh, yes. And you can send the emoji instantaneously. When your friend texts you, you can just push and emoji. So good. I need 17. Give me 17. And then people, when they sell them, people line up overnight to be the first one to get 17. That's insane. So we can't live like that and bring down the carbon emissions. It's not possible. We're living in a way so it's not going to stop. Right? It's going over the cliff now. Right? It's a big problem. So this is what happens. If you don't control passion, it goes into ignorance. And that's what's happening with the Kali Yuga, with the modern society. So we at the Hare Krishnas, we have to show people, okay, passion, because we're using passion to spread this movement. We get active, we get fired up. We tell everyone, come on, distribute more books. But we're doing it to lift into goodness, not to go down to ignorance. And we have to be careful as devotees. We don't go down into ignorance, because sometimes we do also. Sometimes we get too tired. And then, like, I've been tired now for about a little bit over 30 years. Because you're trying to spread the movement, you just get tired. Jayapataka Swami met Tamal Krishna Maharaj in 1996 in Mawulambar. They would always travel around the world preaching, and then they met in Mawulambar. And then Tamal Krishna Maharaj said to Jayapataka Swami, how are you? And he said, exhausted. That was 1996. Maharaj still going. He said, exhausted. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj looked at him and he said, now I've met someone else who is also exhausted. They were just pushing, spreading the Hare Krishna. So we also do like that. But we have to be careful we don't go too far, because you can actually damage yourself. And then you get sick, and then it's hard to do any service. So we have to be careful. Passion is good, but it has to be controlled passion, which leads to goodness, not down into ignorance. So the three modes of nature are controlled by Krishna. He is the master of the modes. Maya Jakshena Prakriti. Krishna says in the Gita, I am the controller of the material energy, the three modes of nature. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying to Hiranyakashipu, you are powerful, but there's someone much more powerful than you. who controls even the modes of nature. So you should bow down to him. You should surrender to him now. But we know the story. We'll see in the next chapter. Hiranyakashipu, he says, where is he? I will fight. How are you going to fight with God? Like, what's your... And seriously, it's like me fighting with one of the heavyweight boxers, like say Tyson Fury or Mike Tyson, any of them, you know, the big guys. How am I going to fight with them? Yeah, I can fight, but it's not going to. I know it's not going to end well for me. I know that. You know, so I'm not going to go and pick a fight with them. I'm going to say, hey, come on. Hey, what's wrong with you? Come on. Huh? The guy's just going to look at me, oh, what's your problem? You know. So it's like that. Hiranyakashipu, okay, he's very powerful. That's no problem. Sometimes Krishna gives us power, he gives us energy. But we don't fight against Krishna. You don't go to Krishna and say, come on. And that's what Hiranyakashipu did. He said, yeah, fight. He actually momentarily, when he came out of the pillar, he actually stood back. He thought, oh my, even for him, he thought, oh my God, this is powerful, this thing. And he thought, no, wait a minute, I can do it. You know, I've beaten everyone else. So now, you know, he went, and then Nrsingadev appeared at midday, and the fight went all day up until dusk. So it was like 6 hours or something, big fight. But Nrsingadev was playing, it says in the Bhagavatam, just like the cat plays with the mouse. Have you seen the cat with the mouse? Sometimes the cat, he just plays with the mouse, and the mouse thinks, oh, I've got a chance, I'm winning. And the cat's just, you know, flicking around. Then sooner or later the cat just goes, that's it. You're gone. So Nrsingadev was doing like that. He was just playing around. And the demigods got worried. They said, please kill him, kill him. And Nrsingadev said, okay, I'm just waiting for dusk. That's okay. And then dusk came. He said, okay, now bring him over here. He just grabbed him, brought him over. Right? It actually says in some of the descriptions, Puranic descriptions, the way it's told in the Bhagavatam is Nrsingadev comes out of the pillar. But there are other narrations where he actually marches through the front door, the front gate, with an army. There's different ways that it doesn't happen the same every time. It says that sometimes Nrsingadev is so big that after he rips him apart, he can't find him. He's looking under his fingernails. Oh. Okay, he's so big, he just goes like this. And then he just like, you know, oh. Where's that guy? That's how powerful. So you don't fight with Nrsingadev. So we're devotees. But it says in Kali Yuga, the devotee and demon are in the same mind. Don't fight with Krishna. Prabhupada says in Ishopanishad, just cooperate with Krishna. That's all Krishna wants. He wants you to cooperate. Don't be uncooperative. Cooperate with Krishna. That's all he wants. You know, just be a good devotee. Right? Prabhupada said, don't be a great devotee, just be a good devotee. Just be a good devotee, that's all. That's all. Cooperate with Krishna, serve the other devotees, go back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki. Any questions or comments in the material world? Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. You mentioned before about how Jagatarini Mataji said that you should fulfill your material desires.
Yeah.
Can you expand a little bit on that? What's the how does that make sense?
How does it make sense? It means Krishna gives us a license for sense gratification. Grihastha ashram is a license for sense gratification. So you fulfill your material desires in a regulated way, right? So why do people get married? Because they're attracted to sex life, opposite sex, right? So then, okay, regulated way. You want to have sex life? Okay, you have children, right? And then you'll never have sex life again, right? What's funny, right? So this is called regulated. Krishna gives you a license for sense gratification. So you have to fulfill your material desires, right? It actually says in the Bhagavatam, there's one verse in the 5th canto that says that a devotee can pray to Krishna to fulfill his desires, But Krishna will fulfill his desires in such a way the devotee will never ask for those things again. Right? You'll never ask again. That's why if you're a sincere devotee, Krishna will fulfill what you want, but you'll do it in such a way you'll never ask for it again. Yeah? We've all experienced that. Yeah. So that's what it means. Is that okay?
That's awesome. I do have one more, but if
no,
anyone...
you go.
Thank you. So you mentioned before about Nrsimhadev, and one of the times he comes out of the pillar and then he rips him up, and then another time he comes through the... Is that like different pastimes in different places? That's a pretty good growl, actually.
That's a good growl.
Yeah.
I've been practicing many years. What's the question?
So why, where's the two come from? Why is it one's coming out the pillar and one's coming through the front gate?
Because variety is the spice of life. You don't want to jump out the pillar every time.
So this happens over and over again.
Oh my God. Right? It happens all the time. Right? Every time he goes to another universe, he does it again. He doesn't want to do it every time the same way. It's like you do it every time. Like every time, you know, you go in the Brahmachari ashram, you go, da-da, right? And then next day you go, da-da, and next day you go, da-da, and everyone just looks at you, what are you doing, man? Like, do it differently. Do something, you know, like, why do you always have to do it the same way every time? Right? So Nrsimhadev is like that. He doesn't want to come every time out of the pillar. So then he comes through the front gate, or maybe sometimes, I don't know, he does it different ways. Like that. But the Lord, he likes variety. We like variety. You know, if someone comes through the door the same way every time, right, we're going to say, hey, come on. Can't you do something different? Well, that's all.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhuji, you mentioned how Lord Nrsimhadev warned Chandkazi, if he again harasses the devotees, then Nrsimhadev will kill him. But Prabhu, we see in our schools, whenever we try to preach our culture, tell our culture how we go to the temple, we do this and that, the non-devotees always harass us by calling us weird names and they offend our culture. So then why doesn't Lord Krishna act upon that, come in their dreams and tell them to stop, or do something to make them stop harassing the devotees?
Yeah, so there's 2 points there. The first point is, when we chant the holy name in the morning, we say there are 10 offenses to the holy name. One is to preach the glories of the holy name to the faithless person. So don't tell them about the temple. If you know they're going to commit offense, then that's your offense. Because you're telling them things they're not ready to hear. So you know they're not, you don't tell them, oh, chant Hare Krishna. No, because they're not ready to chant Hare Krishna. So don't tell them all those things. Oh, you know, if you chant one holy name, all of your sins are destroyed for lifetime. You know, they think you're crazy. Right? So better you don't, like that. So then don't do those things. Secondly, why doesn't Nrsimhadev burst out of the office in the school and kill all the kids? Because it's not a serious offense. It's not a serious offense. They're just saying something. You know, he just thinks, like, what do you think when they say it? You think, oh, they're just being silly. So Nrsimhadev just thinks, oh, they're just being silly. He's not going to come out of the blackboard and grab everyone and go, ah, you know, so. Okay, so be tolerant. You have to tolerate the non-devotees, right? Because if we tolerate the non-devotees, they will become devotees. But we have to be expert. Now, just like when you feed a baby, you don't give the baby too much milk or too little milk. Because if you give too much, the baby will throw up. If you give too little, the baby will cry. So when you're preaching, you have to be perfect, right? You don't give people too much because they will commit offense, but you don't give too little, otherwise they don't progress. So don't say too much to them. But, you know, help them, give them prasadam and do like that. You know, every morning when you go into class, you sit down and say, Hare Krishna everyone, I have gulab jamuns for everyone today. Right? And then give out gulab jamuns there, and then gradually they become purified. TK?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah.
Harishwaraji, thank you for the wonderful class. My question was, you said about the 10 offenses is to preach to the faithless, but in wide preaching sometimes when we go book distribution and like mass preaching, then sometimes faithless people also are there. So then how do we, like, does the offenses like affect us or no?
No, because if you're on book distribution, you have to approach anybody and everyone. So you don't know how they're going to be. That's our mission. We're being instructed by our guru to give Krishna consciousness to everyone. So if you meet someone and they're offensive or they're not interested, you say, okay, Hare Krishna, have a nice day, and you go to the next person. There's no offense like that. But if you're in a situation like someone comes to the temple and you're preaching to them, but you're telling them too many things and they don't understand it, and then they go away and they say, these people are crazy, then you committed the offense because you were preaching to the faithless person. Does it make sense? Yeah. So Harinam is okay. Anyone can have prasadam. Anyone can hear the holy name, and we can try to give anyone a book. But if they're not interested, just say Hare Krishna and then go to the next person. It's okay? Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki? Gauranga.